This video aims to showcase the window layout example. In this example, there are two types of widgets: the window frame and the calculator widget. The widgets can be moved around and resized by dragging them like so. The two sliders in the window frame widget are used to move the image inside it. Moving on to the calculator widget, this widget can be moved and resized the same way as the window frame widget. The calculator widget has basic operators such as add, subtract, multiply, and divide, and can be used like so. To create a window layout example, first, create a new project named Window Layout. Next, create a new widget named Calculator like so. Next, drag and drop vertical linear layout into the page. Change its align and overflow to fill. After that, drag and drop ESD numeric label into the vertical layout and add 4 horizontal linear layouts as 4 rows into vertical layout like so. Next, rearrange the logic nodes neatly like so. Change the orientation to horizontal, align to fill, and overflow to fill for all 4 of the newly added horizontal linear layouts. Increase the font size of ESD numeric label accordingly. After that, drag and drop ESD push buttons into the horizontal layouts. Ensure that the top 3 horizontal linear layouts have 4 buttons each and the bottom one has 3 buttons. After that, fill in the text of each of the buttons corresponding to those of a calculator like so. Make sure to change the primary to false for buttons with numbers. Once that is done, add 2 variables into the logic node editor. Rename one of them to key number to store the press number and the other to screen number to store the displayed number. After that, change the background of all the number buttons to blue. Drag and drop 10 set variables into the logic node editor that will set the key number when the corresponding number button is pushed. Rename one of the set variable to push 9 and change its value to 9. Do this for all of the set variables with their name and value corresponding to the number on their push button. After that, connect the pushed of the corresponding push button to the set of its set variable like so. After that is done, connect all of the target of the set variables to the value of key number like so. Next, drag and drop set variable into the logic node editor, rename it to update screen number, and change its background color to red. Connect all of the set variables output to the set of update screen number. After that, follow the formula shown on the screen by adding and connecting the 2 binary operators like so. Next, add 2 variables into the logic node editor and rename them as keyOperator, which will store the chosen operator, and last number, which will store the value before the operator. Change the background color of all the operator buttons to green. Add a sequence for each of the operator buttons' individual pushed event like so. Next, rename the sequences to their corresponding operator and connect all of the operators pushed to the do of their respective sequence and change all of sequences count to 2. After that, drag and drop set variable for each sequence in the logic node editor, rename them and connect them to their sequence and key operator like so. Set the value for each of the set variables to the value corresponding to its operator as shown on the screen. After that, drag and drop set variable which will calculate and update the screen number. Change its color to red and rename it to push screen number and connect all the then 0 of all the push set variables to the set of push screen number. Next, drag and drop switch value to calculate the screen number based on the key operator. Set the cases to as follows and connect the output of key operator to the input value of switch value. After that, drag and drop 4 binary operators and change their operator so that you have the 4 operators of the calculator: add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Next, connect the nodes like so. Next, drag and drop set variable and rename it to reset screen number and connect the nodes like so. After that, drag and drop ternary operator, connect the nodes like so and rename it to show screen number. Next, drag the numeric label node to the right of it. Change its color to yellow and connect the nodes like so in order to display screen number into ESD numeric label. As you can see, the calculator widget is now working. Now we will move on to creating the window frame widget. Firstly, create a new widget named Window Frame. Next, add a linear layout to Window Frames page. Change its orientation to horizontal, alignment to fill left, and overflow to fill. Next, add vertical linear layout into the horizontal linear layout. Change its overflow to fill and width to 16 and drag and drop ESD push button into it. Remove the text of the push button. Change its primary to false and its width and height to 16. Drag and drop, stretch, into the vertical layout. Next, drag and drop push button into vertical layout. In the Project Explorer, shift push button out of stretch and into vertical linear layout before sending it to bottom like so. Remove its text, change its primary to false and width and height to 16. Next, add a push button into stretch layout and remove its text. Change its primary to false and width to 16. Rename the top left button to frame top left, the left push button to frame left, and bottom left push button to frame bottom left. Repeat the same steps for the right side of the window frame after adding a stretch layout to the center of the window frame. Rename the nodes of the buttons on the right frame similar to how those on the left frame were renamed. Next, add vertical linear layout into the center stretch and change its overflow to fill. Add push button as the top frame and remove its text. Change its height to 16 and primary to false. After that, add push button into stretch to serve as the frame title and change its text to window title. Next, add another stretch to serve as the frame center and add a push button into it to serve as the bottom frame. In the Project Explorer, drag the bottom frame out of stretch, send it to bottom, delete its text, change its height to 16 and primary to false. Rename the logic nodes corresponding to their frame position like so. Next, add a sequence for each push button's up/down event and change their count to 1 and rename them like so. Once that is done, connect all of the push buttons up/down event to their corresponding sequence like so. Next, drag and drop input to set the window title, change its type to constant character, and its default to window title. After that, connect the nodes like so. Next, drag and drop widget interface. Check if the widget is top displayed by adding is top under Utilities into the Logic Node Editor and connect the nodes like so. Add a sort to top and connect them like so that the widget will be set to top if any frame is pressed. Next, set window center stretch as the widget's container like so. Add variables to store the transform value of x, y, width, and height respectively. Next, add touch x and y delta from ESD Utilities drop-down menu. Add 4 binary operators to calculate the new x, y, width, and height value. Change the 4 binary operators to multiply and connect the nodes like so. Add 4 more binary operators and change their operators to add and connect the nodes like so. Drag and drop 8 set variables and set the transform value based on the corresponding sequence. rename them, change their values, and connect the nodes like so. All of their values should be set to 1 except for reset all, which should be set to 0, and resize left B, and resize top B, which should be set to -1. After that, connect all the do sequence nodes to the corresponding nodes like so. Lastly, connect all the 4 corner resize nodes to their respective do resize nodes. Once that is done, go to first page and drag and drop window frame widget into it. As you can see, the window frame widget is now working. Now we will assemble and complete the window layout example. First, go to first page and drag and drop window frame widget into it. Change the window title to Calculator. After that, drag and drop Calculator widget and add it into the window frame widget like so. Next, add another window frame widget named Window Photo and change its window title to the image's name. After that, add Star City, JPG bitmap, or any other image that you want to use like so. Drag and drop ESD scroll panel and add it into Window Photo like so. Change its alignment to top left. After that is done, add ESD image into ESD scroll panel and change its bitmap cell to the image that you want to use. As you can see, the window layout example is now complete and working. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.